What's going on, guys? It's Brandon back here again with another BFR video. This was supposed to go up yesterday, but I thought since I have a lot of time today on this Tuesday, last time I have to go in for the full semester, so that's in the evening. But game 27 versus the Washington Capitals, we got the board out for this one. About time it's back. 6 o'clock game on December 10th. Hawks lose 4-2. They drop to 9-17-1. Shots were 35-27 Chicago. Hits 18-16 Washington. Face-offs 31-22 Chicago. Ovechkin is 68 goals away from catching Gretzky. It was Bedard versus Ovi for the first time. And then they put Boris Kachuk on waivers, which I found interesting. Not sure why he's on waivers from a few others that I feel like could be on waivers. But, oh well. No Pacioretty still for Washington. His return should be sometime either later in December or early January. We shall see. Soderblom saves 23 out of 27. Kemper saves 33 out of 35. First period, Wilson has a big hit on Anderson. Karlsson has a chance that goes wide. 17:37, Chicago penalty to Foligno for tripping, and I wrote, "What is this?" So I'm like, okay, here we go again. That would be killed off, however, because at 16:49, it's a Washington penalty to Karlsson for tripping, which would be killed because it was 4-on-4 for 1:15 and then 5-on-4 for Chicago with 45 seconds. And then Radish, after he draws the first penalty on Karlsson, he draws a second penalty on Malestein, this one also for tripping. So he draws two penalties in the first 5 minutes of the game. Crevier is saved, but at 13:51, it's a Chicago goal to Philip Kurashev. And that's no goal, because it was immediately waved off no goal. It was a kicking motion. Definitely not intentional, but it was clearly a kicking motion. That's the right call there. So that happens. Reichel gets a near break and makes a stupid play. Huge scramble in front of Kemper. Puck somehow does not find a way to go in. And Chicago controlled the first period. That was important. I thought they played really well in the first, and they played really well in the second, up until they scored their goal. They scored the first goal of the game in the second, and we'll talk about how the momentum just switched. Wilson has a redirect that's saved, and we go to the second. 17:01, Washington penalty to Malestein for tripping, which would be killed. And Reese Johnson's head went hard into the ice. I was surprised he wasn't taken out of the game at all. But anyway, Bedard whiffed, Kurashev is saved, Anderson is robbed. Hawks are in full possession control. Hawks are having better chances. Ovechkin is saved. And then 13:11, it's a Chicago deflection goal. It goes off the skate of Philip Kurashev. This one does count. His sixth of the season from Seth Jones and Connor Bedard to make it 1-0. And after that, the momentum just switched. Halfway through the game, it just completely went the other way, and it never came back the rest of the game. It seemed like they got the goal, and they just turned off. Bedard has a chance that's blocked. Phillips had a good hit on Ovechkin, then Ovechkin stabs him with his stick, and for whatever reason, I'm not sure what that was about. 11:49, Washington breakaway goal to Anthony Mantha, his 7th of the season from McMichael, and it was a great pass from McMichael. That makes it 1-1. All 10 players stop as the Hawks refuse to go for Kuznetsov, as Kuznetsov's in the back of the zone, and he's just waiting, and the Hawks are not going for him, and it was pretty funny to watch. The Hawks were not going to let them get out of position, and it was a smart play, I thought. Bedard has a post. Kurashev is wide. Bedard is saved. 9:01, Washington penalty to Faravari for interference. That would be killed off. Then at 6:10, it's a Washington tap-in goal to Dylan Strome, the former Blackhawk, with his 11th of the season from Edmondson and Ovechkin to make it 2-1. Oshie had a huge hit on Vlasic, which caused some blood to come out of his nose. Massive scramble, and the puck somehow did not go in once again. Massive scramble, puck did not go in at first, but then Nick Dowd is able to stuff it in. At 4:37, it's a Washington scramble goal to Nick Dowd. It was originally credited to Beck Malestein, but Nick Dowd gets credited, Malestein with the assist, and also with Jensen, which makes it 3-1 at the end of the second period. Third period, Dowd has a great move that's saved. Ovechkin wide. Ovechkin is saved as he's looking. Bedard is saved. 12:02, Chicago penalty to Foligno for boarding, which would be killed. 4:02, Washington goal to Nick Dowd with his 2nd of the game, 4th of the season, from Abe Kubel and Malestein. Malestein had a pretty good game. What did I write here? Oh yeah, that makes it. So Seth Jones tripped in the corner, and there was no call during that goal. So that's kind of what led to odd man chance for Washington, which led to the goal. Hawks had got away with 7 men on the ice for about 5 seconds. They got lucky there. 3:14, there's a scramble. There's a Chicago penalty to Anderson for tripping, which would be killed. But at shorthanded, there's a huge scramble, and it would be covered up and led to a big scrum. Wilson is saved. 2:55, Washington penalty to Wilson, and that was a dirty hit by Wilson on Murphy. Murphy had the shorthanded chance, and Wilson just came in and clocked him. And he ended up getting a double minor for roughing, and which would be killed off. Milano served the minor. Wilson gets a 10-minute misconduct, but the announcer also said that TJ Oshie got a 10-minute misconduct, so I'm not really sure what's going on at this point. Yeah, so the Hawks pulled the goalies. So it's 4-on-4 for a minute 41 after all of it. Hawks pulled the goalie at 1:28, so it's 5-on-4, and then it's 6-on-4 for the remaining 2 minutes and 18 seconds. Bedard was becoming a show late in the period. He started just making all the moves because he realized I have to do all of this myself. And then at 1:42, it pays off. It's a Chicago one-timer goal on a fantastic pass. Bedard turns around and just whips that puck. He did it against Anaheim as well, or not Anaheim. It was I forgot which game it was, where he just whipped it around and the person got the shot off. But it's Connor Murphy's first of the season from Bedard and Kurashev to make it 4-2, and that would conclude the game as the Hawks lose 4-2. Game 28 against, I think it's Edmonton tonight. Yeah, it'll be Edmonton. It's a 9 p.m. game. My one final tonight, and then I'll come home and watch that game, so we'll see. But in terms of the standings, we haven't looked at the whiteboard in a while. Not much changed, to be honest, from the last time we did the whiteboard. Edmonton has jumped all the way to here as they go back to 500. Calgary up here, Seattle and Anaheim drop. Colorado and Dallas switch. Nashville and St. Louis switch. In the Atlantic, Toronto, Tampa, and Detroit are all going back and forth. Buffalo and Montreal switched. Islanders are somehow second in their division. I don't know. Philly's somehow third. Washington somehow fourth. Devils are fifth. Canes are sixth. Penguins are seventh. The most consistent team in that division is the Rangers, and they just keep winning. But yeah, that's going to be all I have for you guys in this one. I plan on recording 2 more videos after this because I have the chance. One of them will also be uploaded today, so I want to thank you guys so much for watching, and I shall see you guys in the next one. Goodbye.